Hello and welcome again. I'm Kim Denius. This is part 4 of my series on prayer. And today we're going to talk about two types of prayer: centering prayer and intercession prayer, prayer of intercession. The definition I've been using for prayer is from Richard Foster's book on prayer, and it is that in prayer, we simply lift our hearts and our minds to God. Isn't that just so lovely? It's just so easy. And then I tack on that it reminds me I'm not in charge. It reminds me I'm not in control. So centering prayer is a prayer practice that Thomas Keating brought forward out of the Roman Catholic tradition. And if you're not familiar with it, I'm just going to give you a kind of a brief recap, and I'd encourage you to take a look around the internet. There are many things that there's lots of information on centering prayer out there. So it is really a practice of stillness with God. Stillness with God. Again, our extroverts might want some music on. Our introverts will be happy to have it just quiet. You'll want to be very comfortable. You'll want to sit both feet on the ground. I'd like to be my hands in kind of a relaxed position, whatever that means to you. Uncross my legs just to be still, comfortably still before God. And what you're going to do is select a word or a phrase that will bring you back to God. The goal is to spend time with God. I like to think of it as a picnic with God, a silent picnic, a quiet picnic. God and I out in nature being together. And then you find this word or phrase that when your mind wanders, because that's what our minds do, we bring it back by simply saying this word. Now, I'm going to give you a couple suggestions. One I love from the Old Testament is "Here I am." Here I am. And I love the dualness in that here I am, me saying it to God, and guess what? God saying it to me. Here I am. Another one that's easy is just peace, life. Something, I wouldn't use one of your kids' names. I wouldn't use a food. I would use more faith, trust, something like that. You don't want the word to get you hooked. And then, as you are able, do it for 5 minutes to start with. Thomas Keating, when he brought it forward, said 20. 20's lovely. I've noticed and I have read that there's something about getting past the 11-minute mark. Something shifts in me after the 11-minute mark. I like to set a timer, and then I can relax. Now, I know others that I've traveled with, they're like, oh, a timer doesn't work for me. I don't want a timer on. I just want to do it, and I'll stop when I'm ready. That's fine, too. So you find your sweet spot there. Now, you're going to quickly notice how much your mind can jump about. They call it monkey mind in the Buddhist tradition, that our minds just go, go, go. Just keep bringing it back to God and don't judge it. Whatever the thought is, maybe it's the grocery list. Don't judge it, just bring your mind back to God. I read somewhere, I think it might have been Thomas Keating, where he likes to think of it as a boat, your thought being a boat passing on the river. Just let it go. There it is, and off you go. I'm back with God, back to center. Now, I just want to encourage you that if you're a parent and a child pops in on you while you're praying, while you're doing centering prayer, just incorporate them into that. Don't get an attitude. Don't get jumpy about it. Take and be with them, tend to it. And if they can wait for you, you can say, Mommy's praying, Mommy's being with God. I'll be with you in a few minutes. That's lovely. You don't want to communicate to them a dismissive tone. That's not necessary with this. Just incorporate them into it. Off they go, and you pop right back with God. I like to end my time in centering prayer with just a brief bow, just a kind of a sacredness, kind of a sealing in of, if you will. So consider doing that. So that's centering prayer. Again, lots of information on the internet on it. There's a free app, I think, from Thomas Keating's organization where you can use their timer if you're an app person. The next prayer I want to offer is intercession. I like to think of intercession as I'm standing in the gap on behalf of. Perhaps there's somebody that can't pray for themselves, and so I'm praying for them or with them if they are praying for themselves. But also, I like to think of it as I am joining with the collective, that there are others praying and my prayers join in there before God. The Bible tells us to make our requests known to God, and so I do think that intercession is part of that. What I have found as I've matured in God is that I don't need to tell God how to do anything, right? And my ego is not going to know the answer. And so I just trust that God knows what's needed. And that's frequently my prayer. Lord, meet the needs as you know are needed. It's a surrender to God of control. It's a releasing of your own desires. Your will be done is kind of the prayer. But your intention is to hold the person, the situation, maybe it's the institution, maybe it's the church, the nation, to God. You're standing in that gap. Typically, words are very much a part of intercession, but it can also just be weeping. It can be just that quiet, Lord, please be with this family. So a couple more time-sensitive, time-expansive prayers today, centering prayer and intercession. I hope these have been helpful. I hope they've encouraged you to spend time with God. That's what prayer is. It's spending time with God, you building your relationship with God. May these be an encouragement to you. Thanks so much for watching. Bye now.